So, first off, I just want to start by saying that I'm not sick. I've just lost my voice. I'm not sure what's happening. Nothing hurts or anything, but I've lost my voice. But I wanted to go ahead and get this video made uh, since I've just gathered my proficiency scales and some of the assessments for the scales. And so it's fresh on my mind to talk to you about them. We're beginning a new unit in Algebra 1, and it's over exponential functions. So throughout this year, we've been identifying learning targets for our essential standards. And this was the perfect unit to do this assignment with because it's bringing in some prior knowledge that the kids should already have, but as we know, we're coming off of COVID. A lot of those prior skills were not mastered, so it's bringing in some of the prior standards that they need and leading it into a new area, new content area of exponential functions, which they've never seen before. These are brand new for them. There are 3 learning targets for my first section of the unit, and they were perfect to go with the proficiency scales that I made. My proficiency scales, I am more than likely going to tweak them as I progress through this unit. They are just on a 4-point scale, but I do think that there needs to be some in-between scale points. I hesitated on doing that right now because I really want to see how it goes in the classroom to determine where I want to put the half points and what I really expect a half point to be. The assessments that go with my learning targets and my proficiency scales, a lot of them are covering more than one of the measurement targets. So what I did is up at the top of each of the assessments, I wrote specifically which learning target that assessment is for. What I usually do, or what I do when I grade an assessment, we have a spreadsheet that we mark down to see how close to mastery we're getting with specific learning targets, and I'll identify a specific question that goes for that learning target. And when I give these assessments, even though the assessment may be covering 2 of the learning targets, when I break down the data, I specifically assign, which question is just for that one learning target. So I don't really have just an individual one assessment for only one learning target. There's a couple what we call cool downs. There are exit tickets that might assess just one learning target, but a lot of them is also having to take in that prior knowledge that we're still assessing on. I hope that makes sense. I hope I explained that well. But as you'll see when you open up the file, the actual assessment up at the top will show which essential standard is being graded, which is being assessed in that assessment, which kind of leads me into a question that I have. For my next assignment, I have to load up a pre-test and a post-test, which I've included in here because we had already created those. But my pre-test will cover all 3 of the learning targets, and my post-test will cover all 3 of the learning targets. And I want to make sure that's acceptable because in the directions it says that there needs to be one pre-test per essential standard, which if you need me to, I can break them up into which questions are for each essential standard. Just however you would like me to do that for help. But what we will do is, what I plan to do is, as we go through this, I have a chart on my board over here. Don't know if you can see it or not, but I have a whiteboard, poster board back there that will where I track which assignments go with which of the 3 learning targets. As I grade them, the data goes into my spreadsheet so I can determine how close to mastery we're getting. I can also determine which students need Tier 1 or Tier 2 support, and I can make a plan for that, which actually leads into the next few assignments. So this is perfect timing for me in this course. Sorry, I keep saying I believe that I have some really good assessments here. I believe that I will have enough data to show mastery or in need of support by the end of this unit, which the rough plan is this section of the unit should be done within 2 to 3 weeks, and then we'll begin working on the RTI section. Thank you. Oh, I forgot to add, there are other assessments, there are other in-class assessments that I do to recognize mastery. I have a clipboard that has a chart of each of the students, and as they're working independently or even as a group, I'm assessing what they're saying while they're working through a problem, what they're writing down, what they're thinking. I will ask clarifying questions on their thinking, and I record that data on my clipboard, even though I won't have an actual turned in, written assignment. I'm assessing them as they're going through the work while I'm teaching the lessons. So I have multiple data points to show whether or not the learning target is being met or not. These are what I've submitted are actual, will be actual graded assignments, but I also take into consideration what they're doing while they're working on the assignment in the classroom, whether independently or within a group. And that data is recorded on it's actually just my seating chart that has where I put little codes to assess their data while they're working independently or, like I said, with the group. So multiple data points go into consideration when I'm determining mastery for a specific learning target. Thank you.